This reading is a poem or a prayer, I'm not sure which, titled Drops of God by Reverend Tess Bumbacher. God is water sleeping in high-piled clouds. She is gentle drink of rain, pooling lake, rounding pond, angry flooding river. She is frothy horse-maned geyser. She is glacier on mountains and polar ice cap, and breathtaking crystalline ideas of snowflakes. She is frost dance on trees, and we are drops of God. Her tears of joy or sorrow, ice crystals and raindrops in the ocean of her. God is air, wallowing all about us. She is thin blue atmosphere, embracing our planet, gentle breeze. She is wind and fearsome gale, centrifugal force of tornado and hurricane, flurry of dust storm. She is breath, spirit, life. She is thought, intellect, vision, and voice, and we are breaths of God, steady and soft, changeable and destructive. We are her laughter and her sighs, atomic movements, sardines schooling in the firmament of her. God is fire burning day and night. She is sting of passion, blinking candle, heat that cooks our food. She is fury, forest fire, and flow of lava which destroys and creates, transforms. She is home fire and house fire. She is giving light of sun and solemn mirror face of moon and tiny hopes of stars. And we are little licking flames flickering in her heart, in the furnace of her. God is power of earth, in and under us. She is steady, staying, fertile loam, body, matter, tree. She is crumbling limestone and shifting sand, multicolored marble. She is rugged boulder and water smooth stone. She is gold and diamond, gemstone. She is tectonic plates and their motion, mountains rising over us, rumble snap of earthquake, tantrum of volcano. She is turning of our day, root of being. And we are pebbles and sand grains and tiny landmarks in the endless terrain of her. God is journal of time marching through eternity. She is waking of seasons, phases of moon, movements of stars. She is grandmother, mother, daughter. She is transcending spiral of ages whose every turn encompasses the rest. History, a mere babe balanced on her hip. She is spinning of universes, an ancestress of infinites. She is memory. She is presence. She is dream. And we are brief instants, intersections, nanoseconds, flashing, gold-hoped moments in the eons of her. God is, and we are. So, the question then is, do you believe in God? Can be a It can be a difficult question for some of us. And when I speak to people about whether or not they believe in God, I always am curious, and I'm sure this probably isn't new to you to hear this phrase. I'm always curious about the God that they don't believe in. Scroll right down to where I was. I think the question of whether or not I believe in God, I probably am asked this question more often than your average person, because just in casual conversations during the day, grocery store, whatever, when people find out that I'm a Unitarian minister, that's kind of the next question, is a conversation about God. And when I ask people about the God they don't believe in, it does seem like it's most common to be a he that they don't believe in. So for some of us, it's a little more comfortable to hear she language. I want to talk about, here, in this book, Honey from the Rock. Rabbi Lawrence Kushner tells this story about a conversation with some kids from his Jewish congregation. And it's so powerful. He says, "Once I was to lead a Shabbos afternoon discussion with some grade school children from the congregation. I wanted to talk with them about holy matters, and so I asked them if they believed in God. I thought some would and some wouldn't, and that we would have a lively discussion, but to my astonishment, no one raised a hand. They weren't spiteful or disinterested or even impious, and as a matter of fact, they were serious, interested, and honest. By their silence, they were simply saying they did not believe in God, much the same way they might have said matter-of-factly that it wasn't raining. My surprise became sadness. This must surely be the end of the line, the final despiritualization of American Jews. So we spoke about other things. I don't remember what. I only recall a great disappointment, a kind of finality and defeat. So it's come to this. 3,000 years of fire and piety for a bunch of spoiled, spoiled, rotten little suburban kids who unemotionally say they don't believe in God. And then, sometime later on, during the same conversation, I thought of a different question, or maybe it was the same question. I asked them if any of them had ever been close to God, and every one of them raised their hands. Freely, naturally, unaware of any contradiction or inconsistency. But now I had to have proof, so I asked them when and where, and one by one they described what I believe to be the Jewish experience of God. One told of the previous evening when we had lit the Shabbos candles. Another of a few months ago, amidst anger and sadness, upon the death of a grandparent. And still another, a few days earlier, when even though they didn't feel like it, they helped one of their parents. So, to reframe the question, do you believe in God? And have you ever felt close to God? For me personally, I don't know. I don't know if I've ever felt close to God. For me, God isn't something to be close to. For me, God is already here. God is in us. God is part of us. This is all holy. This is all, the word isn't quite right, but this is God. You can see I'm having trouble with finding the words for it, but like the villagers in the story of God's hat, we all see different things when we look at God, and so the word God itself can feel wrong to so many of us who don't experience what we're taught that the word God means. A judging man on a cloud? No, thank you. A giver of strict rules or punisher? No, that doesn't resonate for me. And universalism, by definition, is the belief that we're all saved. We're universally loved infinitely, and that hell can't possibly exist because God welcomes us all. The original Universalists were Christians who just rejected the idea that Jesus died to save us from hell. They didn't reject the man of Jesus any more than we do. They questioned the notion of sin. They said God is too full of love to harshly punish us. So, when God walks by, we see different sides of her hat. Not just her hat, but all of her. I could never personally connect with my parents' Sunday school idea of teacher, or the idea of God, Sunday school teacher or my parents' idea of God as something out there that you pray to. I was brought up with an idea of a kind and friendly God, but a God that you have a relationship with, a parental God who is an entirely separate being from you. That's not the experience I have, and I don't question people who have that experience. But the God I experience is massive, expansive, limitless. The God I experience is here and now and is this and the cap of the bottle and is everything, is infused in everything. It's how everything exists. God to me is the energy that everything is made of. God is the connection. God is all you can see and what none of us can comprehend. This is the God that I experience. And I'm curious about the God that you do or do not experience. What does your God look like? Do you use that word? Is it better described by some other word, like great mystery, ground of all being, spirit of life? In times of trial, humans have turned to this connection to God as a source of comfort. In times of pain, we turn to God for comfort, and in times of separation, we connect to one another by connecting to the divine. So, I'd like to celebrate what we'll call a joy communion by connecting in the way that we can, which is through the holy. Let me get past this little tickle I've got. So, I'd never heard of joy communion before because we're making it up this morning. We're summoning up our reserves of joy, the joy that we find in the holy, in the divine, the soul's calling forth the many colors of God's hat to unite us in joy. So we're making this up as we go along. This is the spontaneity of joy, the ground of all being. So I'm going to start by asking you to close your eyes as you feel comfortable, and as best you can, picture the color of God's hat as it appears for you. How does the divine reveal herself, himself, itself, themselves to you? And I'll read off some of the names of God historically. Just see what pops into your mind. El Shaddai, Adonai, I am that I am, King or Lord, Holy Spirit. You can roll over in your mind the fact that in Islam there are 99 names for God, and they're all adjectives, such as the generous, the all-aware, the watchful. More names for God might be word, breath, living water, compassionate mother, life-giving womb. I'll read a meditation on the names of God by Reverend Richard Fox. And as I read this, I'd like you to allow your experience to manifest to you as only it can. Can you feel a deep well of joy that overcomes all pain? Can you connect to your neighbors and to the rest of this community and congregation? Can you allow your energy to grow beyond your body and connect with all that is and all of us who love you? O Vishnu, Maya, Kali, Ishtar, Isis, Great Mother of creation, womb of the universe, the feminine divine, blessed art thou who hast given life to all, and receiveth us at the end, forever thine. Jupiter, Zeus, Apollo, Dionysius, Lord of creation, the masculine divine, God of ecstasy and wine and reason sublime. Amen. Horus, Ra, God of beginnings and endings, the soul, the Ka. Soaring like a bird to the life-giving power of the sun, all life is one, Shiva, Shakti, yin and yang, the dance of life and death from hand to hand, in perfect balance, the movement of forces, as the earth turns 'neath the stars in their courses. Rama, Krishna, Varuna, Brahma, God of the Upanishads and Rig Veda, mystic priests and the Bhagavad Gita, Om Shanti, the lotus, a holy vow. Creating our own karma and reincarnation here and now, and the ever-present realization that art thou, Buddha, Nirvana, the enlightened one, liberation sought and won in daily life begun under a tree in the sun, to a state of being indescribable, comparable to no one, Allah Akbar and Ahura Mazda. There is no God but God, the All-Ah, the One, the Righteous One, purity of fire, goodness and truth to inspire, fight fire with fire, quench the evil desire. Let the call ring forth from minaret to spire. El Shaddai, Adonai, Yahweh, Elohim, the God of peace be with you. Shalom, 10 commandments and the law, for Gentile and Jew, the birth of conscience and a day of atonement, to confess, to forgive, to begin anew. Abba, Spiritus, Logos, Son, God in 3 persons, God in one, God in all persons. Prophets, teachers, daughters, and sons, the kingdom of heaven is within us. Let thy kingdom come. Oh, how shall we address thee, who art Alpha and Omega, the stars in their courses, thou of 1,000 names, and yet ever nameless. Let us confess the mystery of thy holiness. Let us proclaim the wonder of one without a name. Let the silence praise, and let the 9 billion stars of thy namelessness. This meditation on the names of God is a meditation about you, for you are not separate from the divine. It is a meditation about us, for we are the cells that make up God's body. We are living, breathing holiness. And so this is our joy communion, taking your connection, your knowledge of divinity. For you might be a comforting mother. For you, divinity might be the vastness of the galaxy. For you, divinity might be holy doubt. Taking all of our experiences and beliefs and recognizing them as joy, recognizing that we are connected like the spokes in a wheel, drawing ever deeper into connection and community, into unity, into a singular divine. Taking that energy and raising your arms as you are comfortable, and feeling the energy radiate from your hands. If you still have your eyes closed, letting the divine energy of your soul rise out of your palms and your fingertips, seeing in your mind's eye as you bless all of us, as we bless you, as we fully connect in ways that are invisible to our eyes but are no less real. And then finally, opening your eyes, lowering your hands, palms up in a receiving pose, receiving the energy, warmth, love, and joy that is shooting around this room, looking to your left, looking to your right, looking all around you, looking at the eyes on the computer screen if you're online right now, noticing the eyes of your friends and neighbors, noticing the unmistakable divinity within them. Our joy connects us. Our joy, which is deeper than happiness. Our joy, which does not deny our pain, but rather holds it, cares for it, leans into our fear, our disappointment, and acknowledges them. The joys and concerns that we share, those concerns are held and loved by the joy. This palpable joy is with us now. And I'm going to challenge what you might be thinking. Perhaps you don't feel connection to this joy right now. Perhaps you still feel isolation, fear, unhappiness. All of that is held and loved by the joy that is greater than anything. So if you ask me if I believe in God, I will say yes, I believe in joy. It is in us and with us and holds all of us in the darkest of dark nights. So today, my name for God is joy, the joy that holds us, the joy that you send out through your fingertips that now has been multiplied by everyone here and knows no boundaries. It knows no time constraints. It is available to you this week, later on, this month, into the next year and beyond. This joy is shared in the past with loved ones who are no longer here. It is connected to everything. It is bigger and more powerful and more beautiful than any monster that may be hiding under your bed. So with the end of that message, I'll give you the offering words. Spirit of life, we seek to touch that joy that never leaves this world, that is not happiness built on happenstance, but is a living, breathing joy greater than any single moment. In those moments we cannot feel it. Let us seek to remember it is always there, around us, and in us.